Welcome back to Other People's Lives. I'm Joe Santagato.
I'm Greg Dybeck.
For those who are listening, you actually can watch our show now. It's available on YouTube, youtube.com/otherpeopleslives. But yeah.
Yeah, today we have a really exciting guest on. We're going to be speaking with Simone Justice. She is a BDSM educator, and specifically today we're going to be focusing on erotic hypnosis. So she's taught classes, conferences, things like that on erotic hypnosis. And we're going to ask you to stay with us because we have a very special guest that's going to join us pretty much at the halfway mark to actually have an erotic hypnosis session with Simone on this episode. Joe, should we tell the people who it is or let it be a surprise?
We can let it be a surprise, but
all right. It's a big surprise.
Thank you for taking the time to talk to us today, Simone.
Oh, I'm glad to. Thanks for finding me.
Of course.
Yeah. So we would be lying, I think, if we said that we knew what erotic hypnosis was. I think we can kind of understand it from the title, but can you kind of just dive into, what it means and what an erotic hypnosis session entails?
Well, it entails hypnosis, but adding in an element of erotic excitement as well. So most of the time people have not heard of it, and it really isn't a very well-known fantasy fun thing to do, but it's awesome. And as soon as people find out about it, they're usually pretty excited to experience it themselves. So it's basically hypnosis, which is, a relaxing experience usually, and then you add in some sexy stuff. And it's fabulous because it's all fantasy based. So the hypnosis makes your fantasy feel a little bit more real. And also sometimes people give suggestions. Those are when the hypnotist person suggests to the other that something or other would take place. And then you can play around with that, having either suggestions during the hypnosis that will take effect for the hypnotized person to feel, or afterwards. And those are called a post-hypnotic suggestion. So you can have some sexy fun with that.
So how did this come about? Because, with hypnosis, I feel like for me specifically, I've been in two situations where there's a hypnotist and they tell me that I'm not susceptible. So do you find that to be a difficulty in this field where, even adding in another layer to that, does it make it easier or harder?
Well, it is true that some people are less susceptible and some are more, or another word for that is suggestible as well. And so there's a little test that you'll do beforehand to find out how suggestible somebody is. And usually when I'm dealing with somebody, though, they're down to be hypnotized and revving to go. Very rarely do I find that somebody is not able to really go into a deep state of hypnosis. And when that's the case, I just let them know, it seems like you're not really that hypnotizable. We can continue to work together, and maybe over time it will increase. And if they want to do that, then it will. Over time, they can basically become trained to become more hypnotizable.
So before we even get to the inclusion of the eroticism in this, how do you hypnotize someone?
So that is an interesting question because there's lots of different theories and ideas about how it takes place or what exactly it is. There's been quite a bit of scientific research to try to establish guidelines and parameters, and oftentimes those are conflicting in their findings. So it's not 100% clear exactly what hypnosis is. It is clear that it's a real thing and that it's very effective, and it's been used for anesthesia so that people can be anesthetized during an operation. There's all kinds of scientific applications and research to hypnosis to show that it is a real thing. But unfortunately, because of the kind of stage artist and the sort of con man element that gets mixed in with hypnosis, it hasn't always been taken that seriously. So it's more of a niche type of psychotherapy or fun thing to do.
Yeah, I feel like people think of, the guy on the cruise ship who's like that nights, but I also have heard people who have gotten hypnotized and were able to quit smoking, for example, people who have, tried everything else under the sun. And they say that hypnosis works. So it's really interesting. And I guess for the, erotic element, what are people looking to achieve with erotic hypnosis? Is it orgasm? Is it like to experience a fantasy that feels real? Is there more of like a therapy quality to it?
All three of those. And also sometimes they really want to relax. If somebody's very high key person and they're very busy and they can't shut off their mind, their brain's just always going, hypnosis is very helpful for that, to relax. And sometimes it's also go to sleep as well. So one of the things I've done when I've done the erotic hypnosis on the phone is basically tuck somebody in and put them to sleep. And so that's another application that people are looking for.
That sounds lovely, actually.
It is lovely.
When you earlier you said it's like, fantasy based. So do you play a certain character, or do you just kind of coach them into creating this fantasy land on their own? Or are you a part of this fantasy world that they're creating?
Either way, if it was something that it's outside of the realm of something that I would do, for example, the person who's coming on later, I don't know what their fantasy is going to be. If their fantasy is something that I can't really see myself being a part of, or I'm not comfortable being that person, I'll generate somebody else for them to be in the fantasy. But usually the fantasy is about me. It's about connecting with me in a certain way. And I'll be in the fantasy as well when I'm describing it. And there's some kind of a fantasy relationship with me inside of the hypnosis, if that makes sense.
So do you find that through hypnosis, people are able to maybe access their fantasies better, or someone who, may not be able to, in just a normal setting, kind of express their, deepest desires through hypnosis, they're really able to kind of, shed a layer in a sense and be as open as possible?
Exactly. It can be great for lowering your inhibitions, so that, let's say, for example, if a woman was a little bit less comfortable with her sexuality, but she really wanted to be more comfortable with certain things, you could, through hypnosis, suggest that for now, those inhibitions can be put to rest and you're feeling much more adventuresome. And at this time, it's okay if you want to explore some of those things that other times might feel guilty, that kind of thing, and help somebody to kind of break out of inhibitions. So that's one element.
Okay. I felt that, that's just sounds like when your voice changed, like the inflection in your voice changed, and I was like, oh my god, it kind of felt like, I was being hypnotized in a way.
Maybe you are susceptible.
Maybe, I don't know.
Well, the thing, there is some of the technique is the way you talk. There's special, so that is what is happening, and you're accessing elements in the subconscious. You're triggering those ideas by the way you talk in a person's mind, and helping them feel a little bit more like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea, by the way you talk. So hypnosis is a combination of the setting that you create combined with some relaxation and some of the elements of what comprise actual hypnosis, and then also your voice and the way you speak to the person. So you combine all of those together and use them to help that person get to where they want to be.
Nice. Now I'm like, are we getting hypnotized right now? I don't know.
Not yet.
So, I mean, one of my questions was kind of like, this and just phone sex are different things. I mean, there's the element of hypnosis to it. I'm kind of wondering why someone would seek this out as opposed to just phone sex. Is there usually an issue that they have, or is there a want that kind of drives them in the direction of the hypnosis part, or what do you find, your clients kind of benefit usually from this?
Well, because I am a former dominatrix, and when I was doing the phone sex, I was in that role as a dominatrix. So really it was for a hypnosis fetish. So, and that's most of the people that are into erotic hypnosis have a hypnosis fetish. they find it very arousing, the idea that somebody would be able to get them to do things for them. So it's usually combined with an element of domination and submission as well, where the person hypnotizes you and then suddenly you have to do everything that they tell you to do. When I snap my fingers, right? So that they find that very arousing. So usually most of the people that are doing erotic hypnosis are also looking for that element of power dynamic, power exchange.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that's cool. It's sort of the ultimate submission, right? I have to do what this person tells me.
Exactly. So it takes it to another element of that feeling of that you're compelled to do something for me, that kind of feeling. So it's extra exciting. But it could also be used in, just sex that doesn't have DS involved. It could be used, as you had suggested at the beginning, to maximize your orgasms and turn on your erogenous zones sensation as well. So it doesn't have to have the DS, but most of the people that are looking for it or know about it are into that. And that's what it is. It's the phone operator. When I'm doing So when I'm doing the phone sex and specifically erotic hypnosis, it's a fetish for hypnosis and being hypnotized and controlled. And then within that, there are common fantasies as well.
Interesting. It's also cool. I just made this connection. You said kind of enhance your orgasms, and there has to be something about how internal, you are in that moment, or the person being hypnotized, where, porn is out of the equation. Like, you're really relying on your own fantasies and your own thoughts.
Yes. And the thing about that is that our own fantasies and our own thoughts are really what's happening during sex. The orgasm doesn't happen in the body, it happens in the brain. And then the brain sends a signal to the body to have the orgasm. So it all happens in the brain. So if you can get into the brain, then you can really ramp things up.
I'm interested.
Yeah, when you put it like that, like it just makes a lot of sense. Originally when I heard it, I heard like this erotic hypnosis. That's kind of like the idea that I got. Like, I would be like, okay, I assume people seek this out because when you're hypnotized or you're having like this sort of outer body experience and then like an orgasm on top of that, I can only imagine what that's like. And that would be like enough for me to be like, you know what, let's try this. Yes,
exactly. It's really fun to do that. And then it's also really awesome to explore fantasies that are outlandish, that you couldn't do in real life. They're actually impossible because you're in the realm of fantasy, and to experience it is more realistic. So in essence, maybe you're not watching porn, but you're living your fantasy porn in your mind.
That's a cool thought too. Things that are impossible in real life but would feel real through the hypnosis is very interesting.
Yes,
wow.
And there are some fantasies like that people tend to have. For example, a very popular one is transformation. So oftentimes, phone sex operators that are doing erotic hypnosis would get a phone call from a male who wants to experience being turned into a female. So that's a very common erotic hypnosis fantasy.
Interesting. Now, is it a misconception that people have orgasms just through the kind of auditory sensation of erotic hypnosis, or is there actual masturbation involved?
It is not a misconception. Hands-free orgasm, which is another popular fantasy, is a real thing. If you work with somebody for a while, or if they're very susceptible, or if they're experienced at being hypnotized, you can actually induce a hands-free orgasm, which I have done with people. And it's really exciting. And you can train them to come on command so that you give an order or a suggestion or a trigger signal to have an orgasm, and that person will experience an orgasm. So that is another reason that callers would really enjoy my phone calls, because they were able to, for the first time in their life, have hands-free orgasms, and also orgasms without ejaculation, which is another goal, so that you can become multi-orgasmic like a female.
You just blew my mind with all the information. It was a lot to take in. Like,
okay.
Hands-free.
Parse that down.
Yeah, like hands-free and like
and multiple.
Yeah, that is wow.
Yeah. For example, one of my play partners, we went to a conference recently. And I was able to induce multiple orgasms in him in the middle of a conference. So that was exciting.
And you said
Wow.
no without ejaculation?
Yes.
So the same sensation, but no ejaculation.
Yes, exactly. And so men really enjoy that opportunity, and that's one of the things that they're looking for with erotic hypnosis. And it's not always achievable, I'll be honest, but it is with people who are very susceptible, or if you work with them for a while, it does happen, and it's a really fun thing to explore.
Yeah, wow. I want to like add that to my bucket list. No, that's fascinating. Wow.
Yeah, that is something. I don't even know what to say at this point. I didn't even know this like existed. But the way that you mentioned it, where you're saying like the orgasm comes from the brain, like it just makes a lot of sense with the way that you're talking about it now. I actually know some people who have told me that they don't watch porn, but they listen to it. So that I feel like in a way is sort of related to this, because it's like if you're listening to it, then you're sort of creating what it looks like. And, you know, they've also told me that they've sworn off of, you know, regular porn, because when they're able to just listen and then create the image for themselves, their orgasm is much better. So I guess this is that, but just like on steroids.
Exactly. And if you think about it, that's why everybody says that the movie wasn't as good as the book. The movie was not as good as the book.
Right.
Why? Because in the book, it was all in your own mind. And you imagined the perfect, you know, handsome man coming into your life, and the perfect setting on the beach and all of that, because it's in your own mind. You're generating all of that. So the movie's never going to match up to that, because it isn't your personalized version of it. This is that. Your fantasy is exactly whatever your mind generates, and that's perfect for you.
That makes a lot of sense. Also, these analogies are incredible.
I'm glad.
But wow, awesome. So I'm so excited to see this happen or hear this happen. Joe, do you have anything else? Or I mean, like we said in the beginning, we have a guest who's, you know, going to join us, and with Simone is going to have a session, or I'd say a mini session, a preview of a session, unless he, I don't know, prematurely no hands ejaculates or something.
Well, I could prevent that too. So
Yeah, I think she's in full control here.
This is amazing. Yeah. But yeah, if you don't have any other questions, we can get them on the line.
maybe there'll be more questions after I do a demo, because it would give you some ideas about things you might want to ask. What was that? Or could you do this? You know, that might be, since you're so unfamiliar with the genre, maybe listening to the demo first, and then maybe there'll be more questions after.
Yeah, I think so. And I think he'll have some questions too, or just kind of be able to recap, what he was going through. But I'm ready for this.
Yep.
Okay.
Let's bring him in.
Great.
Well, all right. We have our special guest here for his erotic hypnosis session. It is none other than Danny Lopriori. You guys may know him, co-host of The Basement Yard. Big Vine star back in the day. All around great guy. Danny, what's up?
What's up, everybody? Happy to be here.
All right. So, Danny, we've got Simone Justice here. She will be walking you through your kind of mini erotic hypnosis session. Me and Joe are going to back away now, not say anything. We're not here. We want you to, well, she'll explain this. I don't know why I'm explaining it, but you already look like you're getting in the zone over there. So we will let you two take this away, and when the session ends, we'll jump back in.
I'm ready. Let's do it, Simone.
Hi, Danny.
How are you?
So I'm good. I'm excited to talk with you.
Me
So
too.
I would like to start with asking you if you have any experience with hypnosis.
I do have experience with hypnosis. When I was younger, I actually went to a hypnotist to see if it could help me stop drinking.
Mm-hmm. What happened then?
I kept drinking.
Okay. Did you feel anything when you were with the hypnotist that made you think you were being hypnotized?
I definitely had a couple moments of clarity for sure.
And what do you mean by clarity?
Like I felt as if I was there, but my mind was elsewhere. Like I wasn't as present physically as I was
Mm-hmm.
mentally.
Okay, so you're very mentally present.
Right.
Okay. Was that a pleasant experience for you?
Absolutely.
Oh, good. So, what ideas do you have about hypnosis? It sounds like maybe you're a skeptic.
No, I don't think I'm a skeptic. I think that it's one of those things, if you could put yourself in a position where you could actually use hypnosis to rewire your mind,
Mm-hmm.
it could be very beneficial, but I think it's something that you have to go into open-minded.
Yes. And I would like to ask you about your fantasies because this would be an erotic hypnosis. Um, so I kind of need to know, where would you like to go with that? What would be a fantasy that you would like to realize?
A sexual fantasy of mine. Sex in public has always been kind of a fantasy of mine.
Ooh, that sounds
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
And what kind of sex and what kind of public?
Uh, Almost like doggy style sex
Yeah.
in like, yeah, in a place where people can be seen, but it's almost like you don't care. It's like almost to the
Okay,
point where you just want to, you just ravage each other.
good. And
Yeah.
tell me, who do you think is hot? Who would you like to be doing this with?
Well, my girlfriend is very attractive.
Good answer.
Yes.
I could tell. I think you're already well trained.
Yes,
All
I
right.
am very well trained, but she's very attractive, and I wouldn't mind doing this with her at all. So
Okay. All right. That sounds good. Okay. So then, do you have any questions for me or concerns before I would hypnotize you?
no,
Good. And then I have a question for you. Are there any specific words or situations that maybe would make you feel anxious that you would not want to have included?
um, stop.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Other than stop or like you're hurting me, I'm
Right. Okay. Got it. So you want it to be very mutually satisfying.
good. Right. I don't want it to be like, I don't see it as a dom thing. I see it as a team thing.
Yeah. A couple of people so hot that they're having sex in public.
Yeah.
Okay. So then I'm going to ask you to do a few things for me so that I can help you to realize this fantasy.
Mm.
And the first thing is, I want to make sure that your setting is conducive to being hypnotized, meaning that you can't be interrupted. You have shut off your phone and you've got the door locked. Have you set up all of that already for me?
Throwing my phone onto the couch and
Okay.
putting it on airplane mode,
Good.
and doors are locked, and I'm comfortable.
Good.
I'm ready to go.
Oh, okay, Danny. Good. And when you say you're ready to go, sounds like that means that you would like me to put you into a deep trance so that you can experience your erotic fantasy right now. Is that correct?
Correct.
Good. So then you're going to focus on my voice and listen to every word I say so that I can take you deeper and deeper down into a deep state of relaxation. Hypnosis is just a deep state of relaxation. And then, as you mentioned before, mental clarity. Having your mentally present mind generate all of these sexy, fun things. And I'm going to help you to do that. But in essence, you are going to be hypnotizing yourself. And nothing will happen that you don't want to have happen, nor can I make you do anything that you don't want to do. Is that clear?
Yes.
Good. So while you're listening to my voice, I would like you to also pay attention to your breathing, focusing on your breathing, and not necessarily controlling your breathing, but just breathe in and out. and feel the comfort and relaxation as you breathe in relaxation and breathe out any tension. And also make sure that your feet are on the ground, and feel your feet on the ground while you're paying attention to your breathing. And also at the same time, focus on my voice and listen to every word. And pretty soon you're going to feel yourself sinking down into the chair that you're sitting in as your body relaxes. People seem to find it very relaxing to close their eyes and focus on my voice and just allow their minds to drift while you're also focusing on your feet and feeling the breathing in and out. And pretty soon you might feel yourself relaxing. All of the muscles in your body let go, and you begin to drift on the sound of my voice. And the more you drift on the sound of my voice, the more you feel relaxed. The more you relax, Danny, the more you focus on my voice. And you're breathing in and out, just breathing for me, relaxing with each breath. And your feet are so comfortable on the floor as you're sinking into the chair more and more. Every breath in and out, you feel yourself sinking down. Comfort, feeling yourself loosen and relax. And pretty soon, I'm going to start counting for you. Whenever I count for you, Danny, it's so relaxing. Every number is more and more relaxing. You feel so comfortable listening to me count down, down, down. And it's fine if you feel yourself drifting in and out. And so very pleasant if you just focus on my voice and relax and feel yourself drifting. And when your eyes are closed, closing more and more, all the way tight, you can feel your eyelids getting heavier and heavier as you go deeper and deeper, sinking down in the chair, breathing in and out with your feet on the floor, every word I speak. Now you can imagine, and everything I describe to you will feel very real and vivid. You can see all the colors and hear anything and everything that I describe to you. Danny, you find yourself sitting in a very beautiful area of nature. Nature is so relaxing. Everyone finds nature to be so very transcendent. Imagine yourself in nature, and I want you to look around and just see all the beauty that nature offers. Noticing the colors and listening to the sounds and breathing in the scent. It's so wonderful when we get a chance to be out in nature, as you are now, Danny, out in nature, relaxing, enjoying all the beauty, just sitting, calm, peaceful in nature. Yes, that's good, Danny, very good. Just let it all out. Good. And relax in nature. Very good, Danny. That's what I want. Just relax in nature and look around and see all the beauty. And feel yourself lying there and sitting there. Looking off in the distance, Danny, you notice that there's a staircase that's going downward. And you would like to go there and walk down those stairs. The stairs that lead deeper and deeper, further and further down into this relaxing place. So I want you to walk over there and let me know when you're at the top of the staircase.
I'm there.
Good. Now I'm going to count for you, Danny. You're going to go down one step at a time for every number and go deeper and deeper into a hypnotic trance. Starting in the number 20. Stepping down the stairs, feeling your weight shifting down and your foot on the stair. 19. 18. 17. 16. 15. 14. 13. 12. 11. It doesn't matter about those noises, it's fine. 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Now you're at the bottom of the stairs in a deep, deep trance. And you can do anything and everything. And what I would like you to do is to continue walking, feeling how relaxing it is, how good it is to be here, where you can do anything. And what's really nice about it is your girlfriend is here. You can see her now. It's so good to see her and feel this relaxing, pleasant experience together. And go ahead and give her a hug and a kiss and feel how nice it is to have some time together. She's smiling and she smells so good and so nice to hold hands and begin walking together, taking a stroll in nature. That's good, Danny. So as the two of you are walking, it's so nice to feel the breeze and the warmth of the sun on your skin. Feeling the heat of the sun warming your skin and the gentle, warm breeze. It's making both of you feel more and more relaxed, more and more comfortable. And of course, that relaxation and the warmth of the sun is beginning to make both of you feel very affectionate and a little aroused. And as you're walking together, holding hands, you decide to just put your arms around her and give her a nice, deep, erotic kiss. Feel her body pressed up against you and her nipples getting hard, and that little change in her that you know means she's beginning to get turned on. And it's clear that both of you are ready to experience a little bit more. And so you take her hand and you go on a little bit more, a few more steps, and pretty soon she's tugging at your hand and pulling you back in for another kiss. And that makes you get a little bit hard, feeling how sexy it is to be with her here in this beautiful place. And the two of you decide that it would be really good to just go ahead and get naked. There's nobody around, so why not just have sex and enjoy yourself? And so the two of you begin walking a little bit farther and find a good place to lie down so that you can have sex. And so you walk along, and now you're finding a good place. This looks perfect, doesn't it? That's
Yes.
right. Yes, it does. It looks perfect. And so the two of you are ready, and she begins to do a little sexy move the way you like it. And she's beginning to take off her clothes slowly and give you that look. And so you can get more and more aroused, more and more excited to have sex with her. And she's so ready, she begins to take off her clothes. And pretty soon, she's naked in front of you. You're lying down, and she's going to get on top of you, and you're ready to have sex and fuck her good. And she's ready too, and the two of you are kissing and rolling around on the ground. You're on top of her now, and you can feel her hot and wet underneath you as you slide your hand down in between her legs and feel how warm and wet and ready she is. And you're so turned on, you can't wait. So you just take off your clothes, and as you stand up to take off your clothes, you realize that you are surrounded by people, that both of you were so turned on, you didn't even know that you had stepped into a park, and there were lots of people all around. But it's okay, Danny. It feels good. It feels right. And they can see you, but you don't care. And your girlfriend doesn't care either. You give her a look, and she's smiling and letting you know she wants to keep going. She needs it. She wants you now. So you rip off your clothes and you get on top of her, and you begin to. So you rip off your clothes and you get on top of her, and you feel her underneath you writhing and moaning and groaning, and the two of you can turn your head to the side, and you can see that there are people all around watching you. But it doesn't matter. You don't care. You just want to fuck her right now. You just want to get on top of her and slide into her, and she's so ready. She's opening her legs and pulling you toward her, and you're kissing, and you know there's people watching, but it doesn't matter. In fact, it makes it even hotter, Danny, even hotter than ever before. And the two of you are so excited, and you get on top of her and you enter her, and it's so good. She's wetter than ever, and you can feel her and slide into her up and down and fuck her right there in front of everyone. Feels so hot and so sexy. Danny, I want you to remember, I want you to record this in your mind right now, all the hotness of this moment. And you're going to be able to recall it just like that by starting to talk about it with your girlfriend. When you describe to her this conversation, you will be able to recall it perfectly right at the moment where we stopped, and feel all that excitement and bring it into the sex that you have with her the next time you see her. Is that clear?
Yes.
Good. I think it's going to add a little extra hotness. So Danny, I'm going to bring you out of trance now, and then we can talk about this experience. So you're going to return to that staircase, and now you're fully clothed, and your girlfriend, you said goodbye to her. And you walk over to the staircase. Now I want you to walk up the stairs for me.
Did
And
I
as
call?
you do, no, not on this call, because there's people listening. No. So we're going to walk you up the staircase and bring you back. So I'm going to count you out. Walking up from 5, feeling yourself becoming a little bit more awake and aware. 4, coming back into your body. 3, moving around a little bit, getting more and more awake, more and more aware. 2, you're coming back to normal, returning 100% back to normal. And 1, opening your eyes and back, fully awake and aware. Hi, Danny.
Oh,
Hi, how was that?
that was very vivid.
Good. I'm glad. What was vivid about it? Tell me.
I could feel everything.
Yes. So it was sexy?
Absolutely.
Good. Sorry about the no orgasm. I just wasn't set up to do that on this call since there's people listening.
No, that's fine. That's fine. No, I'm good.
But
No,
I
that,
think
that was very vivid. I could feel everything.
good. Yeah, that's how hypnosis is. It's, everything happens in our brain. All of our sensations, except for scent, are filtered through our minds.
Yeah.
And so we're able to actually access them in our brain if we can just get into the right mindset. So it sounds like that happened for you.
Like there was a point where I could feel that I wasn't letting myself get as deep as I want into it.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as I got to the stairs, I just went. I don't know where I went.
Good. Well, you went into hypnotic trance, into your mind,
Yes.
into your subconscious.
See, the only other hypnotic trance I ever went into wasn't like that.
Uh-huh. It wasn't as vivid for you or as deep?
No, like I literally felt like I sank into the chair,
Mm-hmm.
but I could see the woods and everything, and I could feel myself fucking her.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what's so great about this stuff. I'm glad that that worked for you.
Yeah.
And I gave you a suggestion. So that's a post-hypnotic suggestion. That's where I kind of gave you a little something. So when you talk about it with your girlfriend, it should come back to you pretty vividly at that time as well. So that's my
Yeah.
little gift. My little gift to you and her.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you
I
for
feel-
being willing to do this.
I feel like I actually did it.
Yeah, right.
And I'm not gonna lie, like our show is to be funny, like to base me out or anything. I'm extremely horny.
Good. Good.
But
I'm glad to
like
hear
in a
that.
good way. I feel sexually healthy.
Good. Yeah, this stuff is very sexy. That's why people like it so much.
And I was anxious coming into this. I feel great.
Oh, I'm glad. Yeah, I when I've been hypnotized afterwards, I feel so relaxed and a sense of well-being. So I think when we allow ourselves to get really relaxed, it just feels afterwards there's kind of an afterglow.
Absolutely. Simone, that was fantastic.
Oh, I'm glad. Thanks,
Yeah.
Danny.
Thank you.
I'm so afraid I don't know when to jump in here, but wow. Guys, thank you for doing that and getting so into it. Wow.
Absolutely. You guys saw it the whole time?
We were listening.
Yeah, we were listening.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not uncommon to come out of hypnotic trance and not necessarily remember everything. So, because you just kind of go into a dream state in essence, and you know how when you're trying to remember a dream and it just kind of slips away from you, that same sense can happen when you come out of hypnotic trance. So you don't necessarily know what happened and what didn't happen.
I definitely had to get my bearings a little bit. Like I almost forgot where I was.
Yeah.
Like when I woke up. Like I still feel it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it was a sexy one. So if it was not, when it's sexy, there's a combination of arousal and relaxation. So it can kind of have a little leftover for you.
Got it.
I could almost, just by listening at first, feel myself kind of slipping into kind of a different state. Like if I closed my eyes when you were kind of starting and talking about nature and getting to the steps, obviously, Danny, don't worry. I didn't stay in it. It's your girlfriend, your fantasy, but I could truly just see, I think, or sort of experience the power just of the words, of the voice, of the setting. If I were to sit there and keep my eyes closed and let myself slip into that, I think I really would have experienced something similar.
I could 100% feel her and see her, but like not like I'm thinking about her like I was there. Like
yeah, that's a difference. It's not like imagining it; it's experiencing it.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was pretty wild.
Yeah, we appreciated Danny for you volunteering to do this.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Anytime.
We'll let you go hang out with your girlfriend.
Yeah, go see your girlfriend, Danny.
She'll be back from work in an hour and a half. I'll be ready to go. Thank you, Simone.
Thank you.
All right,
bye, Danny. So that I would have to say that's probably not the best one I've ever done, just because I usually don't do it with a bunch of people listening or the awareness that others will be listening to it later.
100%.
So it wasn't 100% comfortable, but I think I was able. Certainly, Danny was happy, and so I think I was able to give at least a sample of what it can be like.
I think you did a phenomenal job, and if
Thank you.
is I can understand how you have some reservations about like everyone's kind of we're just like in the background creepily like
Right.
listening to this, and it's gonna be put out to a bunch of people, so there is that. I thought it was great though. Like
you.
Greg said, I think, you know, even the hypnosis part in the beginning, that alone, kind of, if you listen in and just shut your eyes, it'll take you somewhere, you know? So I thought it was great. So we
Thank
really
you.
appreciate you, you know, coming on and being open with us and definitely, you know, showing off how great you are at this.
Thank you. So did you have any other questions that were generated from listening to that?
I think it was so clear. I think from what we spoke about in the beginning to getting to see that in action, I think it makes a lot of sense. But we do want to make sure that we give the listeners and viewers a chance to find you and reach out if they have any questions, if this is something that, you know, they might be interested in taking a course on, if that's something you still do. I know.
I do. I teach phone classes on erotic hypnosis. I also teach at events. I'll teach at conferences or at adult stores have me. Actually, I'm doing an erotic hypnosis webinar for a store called Shebop in Oregon, in Portland, Oregon. And I don't have the date for it yet, but if they get in touch with me or follow me, they can see an announcement for that. So I'll be doing a webinar on how to do erotic hypnosis for them. And then I also teach phone classes that they can book directly off of my website at SimoneJustice.com, which is SimoneJustice.com, SimoneJustice.com. And then I also do webinars too. I do my own webinars for myself. And so maybe I'll do one on erotic hypnosis that people can sign up for. So that's my website. Yeah. And then my Instagram is Simone.Justice. And my Twitter is Simone_Justice. So they can find me in any one of those ways.
Amazing.
If anyone's interested in learning more or seeing what else you have to offer, even from the short call, super professional, super good at what you do. So definitely, want anyone to reach out to you that might have any more questions.
Yeah, and I can teach them how to do it so they can do it with their partner.
It's quite the skill to have.
Yeah.
Danny might make his girlfriend sign up.
Yeah, probably.
Amazing. Thank you so much for being on. This was really an experience that we haven't had on the show before.
Thanks, Greg and Joe. And I also want to thank you for what you're doing. I was really moved when I found out about your show because it's so wonderful that you have a non-judgmental attitude and that you're exploring all of these areas of life and other people's lives that you don't know about. And I think that's beautiful. So thank you so much for what you do.
We appreciate it. Thank you so much again for taking the time.
Okay.
Have a good day.
Right. Have a good
one.
Bye,
guys. Thanks.
If that's not one of your favorite episodes, I don't know what is.
I mean, it just had so much to it. It's just like, first of all, you know what? It had all the combinations of things that you would want in an OPL episode. I mean, it was educational. It was something I've never heard before. So now I know that. And I'm able to spread that knowledge to the world, not only through this podcast, but just through word of mouth. And I kind of I feel like I got some insight on just even like orgasms in a way, you know, like where it was so simple what she said. She's like, it's not physical as much as it is in the brain. And it's like, yeah, once you can stimulate that part and add that into a sexual experience, it's probably like incredible, you know?
It's just like being more present for
yes.
it, you know? But wow. And huge shout out to Danny.
Yeah, dude.
You know him, you love him.
That's not an easy thing to do, especially when you know people are listening.
Yeah, not at all. And you could tell that he really let himself slip into it because those breaths were getting heavy. Wait, yeah. we have to talk about, did he say, he say, should I come or did I come?
I don't know. It was something. I'm going to have to rewind the tape. I'm not sure, but that's how deep in he was where he needed, like, you know, to his defense though, it was like getting right there and then it got pulled back. So,
oh yeah.
You know.
I was actually getting a little worried, like, Simone, are you going to reel this back at any point or else this is, only the four of us are going to be able to listen to this episode.
Yeah, no, I think that went extremely well. She's extremely good at what she does. I mean, even just the tone of her voice, and like I was saying, like the inflection in her voice where she was talking normally to us and then went into her quote unquote like stage voice or whatever you want to call it. You could just tell that it hits your ears or something in a certain way. And it's very relaxing. And she did spend a good amount of time kind of setting up the setting and just making sure you were kind of just like in that state. So I can only imagine if you're doing that on a, a weekly basis or like, some sort of consistency there, it's probably just incredible.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Imagine being, like you said, like a weekly client or something and just getting to dive deeper each time, explore fantasies.
Yeah.
Wow. Good for those people. But
good for those
yeah,
people.
Everyone who's interested, SimoneJustice.com, SIMONE Justice.com. Yeah, she said she gives classes, webinars, things like that. So definitely check her out. That was awesome.
Yeah. And for anyone who thinks they have a story or anything that would fit for the show, definitely don't hesitate to reach out to us, oplshow.com/contact, and fill out a form, send us an email. We go through all of them. And if it works, then we'll hit you up and schedule something.
Yes. And if you are someone who still listens only and hasn't transitioned to check out the YouTube at youtube.com/otherpeopleslives, a lot of facial expressions going on in this one. And Danny has his camera set up as well, so you get to see Danny while he's going through this.
Right.
So this might be the episode that you want to hop over to YouTube and check out. But yeah, that is all. Check us out on Instagram at OPL Podcast for the clips. Leave a rating and a review wherever. Comment, talk to us. We're here. And shout out to all the patrons at patreon.com/OPL show.
Yep. And that is all. See you guys next time.